Well, hello everyone. Welcome back to JC Construction and Guitars. I haven't done any videos in a while, so here's the first one in a long time. What I'm going to work on today is change strings on my guitar and do a simple setup. That stuff I would usually do. And let's quickly go into it. And before that, please like and subscribe if you like the stuff that I do. Okay, so what we have here is a Strat type guitar, right? So it's a Yamaha Pacifica. Lots of people have these guitars. Mine's a little bit modded, but the structure is the same. If you wonder what model this is the 311 model. Okay, with P90s and humbucker configuration. Okay, so how I like to do things before I change any strings, do anything, give it a quick look, to assess what kind of tools do I need. Okay, this is a very simple guitar. It has a stop tail bridge, right? So stop tail bridge, and then got locking tuners, right? So these are a little bit different than regular locking tuners because it doesn't require a screw to go into it. But you don't screw it. It actually self-locks. Maybe here you can see it in this angle here. Okay. Okay. I find the easiest way to take strings out is just to cut the old strings out. Oh, by the way, so for this guitar here, I'm using the GHS strings. These are custom thickness. It is 48 at the bottom and 9s at the top. So pretty heavy gauge. And this is gonna get tuned to E standard tuning. Okay, so tool number one I like to use is a little string cutter. Okay. Like some people like to, put a towel underneath and then don't want to cut their strings, damage their body, stuff like that. You can do it, but I never do because I never had an issue with doing it this way. So while we are changing strings, I'm gonna quickly talk about parts of the guitar, okay? So what we have here, I showed you earlier, this is the bridge down here, okay? So what we have here is a neck, guitar neck. We got frets. These happens to be stainless steel frets, nothing special. And one more thing, you may want to loosen your strings first. While I'm changing strings, also quickly talk about kind of what I've been up to lately. So lately, I've been working a lot and been learning how to do a lot of different things too as well. So I've started, as you all know, I'm all about construction, guitar. That's kind of what I do. I've kind of have started to learn how to sing. So that's another adventure I'm taking, which I think it's kind of fun. And yeah, so maybe in the future, I may create some videos, exchanging my stuff that I've learned when I sing. So with this guitar, if you look in the back, I'm not sure, maybe here or here, you got all these like holes. These are called ferrules. If I pronounce it wrong, please let me know, okay? It's always tricky because you're trying to feed it through, but hopefully this is easy. Okay, so I guess tip number one, when you got all these loose strings, what do we do with it, right? Curl it. what you want to do is like line all the ball heads up. Okay, there we go. Now what we can do is curl it. Okay. See, there we go. Now things don't just fly everywhere. Everything is kept neat and tidy in a loop. And then once, there you go, right? Once you're done, and what you could do is try not to destroy this package. And you can put it back in, and one complete neat package, and throw it in. Yeah, sorry about that. Computer still sound. Yeah, throw it in, you can throw it down. Okay, cool. All right. People are worried about, tension, blah, blah, blah. When you remove, like you should detension your neck, right? Because there's a truss rod in here. Okay, so actually quick autonomy of a guitar. Autonomy? Let me know if I'm wrong. So we got a simple volume knob here, a tone knob. Okay, volume as a volume, tone on a guitar. This is a stop tail bridge. Okay, we call this a pick guard. Okay, to guard against scratching when you play, so that you don't scratch the guitar, even though it's pretty scratched up. It's old guitar. Yeah, like I said, humbucker, kind of like a P90 style. Stainless steel frets. These are called frets. These metal bits are called frets. Okay, the metal bits are called frets. And what we have here, these are called dotted inlays to kind of let you know what fret you're on for a quick reference. Fun fact, you've also got side dots too. Hope you can see here. Okay, if you can't, maybe this angle. Okay, and actually, yeah, so this angle, maybe this angle, you can see it. Okay, so after that, what we have here is tuners. And then we have, these are called string trees down here. Okay, see if we can pick it up here. So these are the tuners, these are the string trees. Okay, this is a truss rod cover. So there's a metal rod that goes right in the neck here, which kind of like counteracts the tension when the strings you put on, because you want to keep the neck kind of straight. When you put your string on and create tension, which will kind of like fold the neck this way. So that is the cool part. And so if we flip to the back of the guitar, what we have here, we call it like the neck plate. So it's kind of like a washer, right, to connect forward the screw, go through, connect to the neck. And then what you got here is ferrules. That's what I talked about earlier. Okay, cool. And the next bit of cool thing is, call this part of the neck heel. Okay, the thicker this part is, the less your guitar will, like when you drop a guitar, you're less prone to breaking right at the heel here. Okay. Besides that, that's pretty much it. Oh, and there you go, nut. So this is the nut of the guitar. Now, what I'm gonna do is clean the guitar. What I like to do is the old T-shirt cut up into pieces. That usually works pretty well for me. And I like to usually do the fretboard first. So one thing I like to do, but usually, by the time you change strings or fretboard, it's kind of gunky and disgusting already. So what you want to do is get some, it says fretboard conditioner, or there you go, the ultimate lemon oil. Yeah, Dunlop makes pretty good stuff. There's lots of other brands out there make these kind of things, but what you want to do is just kind of dab it in. Okay, maybe from here you can see how I dab these things in. Okay. When you do this, right, just let it sit for at least 5 minutes so that the lemon oil can soak in and do its thing. Okay. Okay. So while I'm waiting for this, my OCD is kicking in. I'm gonna work on the other stuff, right? I don't have to wait. So what I like to check usually is making sure, get a little multi-tool here. This is for truss rod for here when you put it in, and also for here. Adjust these things, okay? Just double check, make sure everything is tight. Finger tight, it's good enough. You don't have to reef on it, okay? Very key. Otherwise, you guys are gonna strip the screws. Okay, remember, these are not designed to be abused. Okay, guys? So there we go. There's a loose screw, so I'm gonna make sure it's tight. Finger tight. Finger tight, guys. Finger tight. Now, like I said, these are locking tuners. If I don't use locking tuners, when I change strings, I'll do like a locking method. Maybe I can explain as I go. But yeah, the next step, tuning strings. Having a utility knife is very handy. Like I said, right? Keep the package in one thing. All right, keep the package one thing. Oops. Sorry, guys. All right, keep the package in one thing. Now you're in. Bada bing, bada bing. Keep everything in one place. Okay, what do we have here? String number 1. Okay, another tip. Don't have too much string hanging out from the hole here, okay? Like you want just minimal. So there you go. Follow it through. Bring it up. Okay. Nice and tight. Now, if we look at here, this angle here, what we have, these are locking tuners, but they don't have the screw bits at the bottom. So what it does is as you turn, you see this part that turns. It will kind of, there's an inner shaft there that's kind of doesn't turns, and this outer shaft doesn't turn, so that it kind of creates a bind to kind of lock the string in place, which I think that's kind of cool. Sorry about that, guys. Okay, there you go. So with this type of tuners, I can't remember exactly the name of this type of tuners. I think these are Goto brand. But as far as model goes, I have no idea. If any or one of you know, put it in the comments. So, right, pull it tight, and then start turning. As you can see, as it starts turning, you can see it binding down here. There you go. That's the first one. After that, get your little snip. Usually I leave about a quarter, maybe a little bit, yeah, about a quarter. Boom. There you go. One string down. Now rinse and repeat 6 times. Now, people ask, hey, why do you use 48 at the bottom and then 9s on the top? Holy crap, usually people only use 46. Well, I agree. But sometimes I like to tune down to, on the thick string, right, on the E string, I like to tune down to drop D. And having that 48 being at the 6th string, it helps with the tension once you drop. Do a drop D tuning. That's why I chose this method. At the same time, if I want somehow decided to tune to E flat, so I could also keep a similar tension without being too loose for my strings. Okay, so I'm gonna continue on. Okay, so we got the string tree here from this angle. So what this do is to hold the angle of the string down with downward force so that doesn't pop out from the slot. Boom. Hey. Okay. There you go. So we put all new strings in here. Sounds like garbage, right? Because it's not tuned. The next step, we're going to tune this guitar and do a lot of setup. Usually, when it comes to the next step, I like to do it not on the table. So I'm going to take this table out and do it on my lap. Okay. So what you really want to do is first bring it to pitch. It's very important to stretch the strings. Okay, because, and also it's also very important to tune the guitar and do these guitar setup things on your lap. Okay, because you play the guitar like this, right? So if you don't set it up like this, it ain't gonna work. Okay, so we'll let this kind of settle a bit. And then what we're gonna do is proceed into cleaning and wiping the rest of the guitar. After that, then we're gonna quickly check our neck relief this way. If it's too bad, then we will remove the truss rod cover and then get an Allen wrench to change the tension up on the neck. Okay, and then after that, we're gonna do some quick cleanup, maybe of the electronics. Okay, pop these covers off. Actually, more like pop the back panel off. Spray some lubricant cleaner in it if it needs. Okay, and yeah, let's proceed and clean the rest of the guitar. Okay, now we can check the neck relief. Like I said, the neck relief, it's how much bow you have on your neck. A good rule of thumb people like to do is get a credit card, right? Kind of thickness of a credit card. And then what they would do is, I will be right back. Okay, I'm back. Like I said, I was talking about neck relief. What people do is clamp call these things again, capo on just right before the first fret. And then what you can do is put a finger right on the last fret here. Then you're able to tell the deepest, there's a gap between the string and the fret, and you can measure the gap. What really this string relief thing does is, obviously, you can flatten your fretboard, but usually it's at a cost of a couple of things, right? At a cost of the tension of the string. So when you want to bend, it may be harder if you set it too flat. And then it also will create string buzz. If you're too flat, that means you don't have enough gap between your strings, and your fret, when it vibrates, okay, it may hit your fret, which people usually say it will result in the loss of tone. There's no hard and fast rule for these things, depending on your amp, depending on how hard you hit the string, right? I could set my, the gap between my string and my fret to be really high, but if I whack on it like this, just buzz everywhere, right? So it doesn't matter at that point. So it's really, right, how hard do you pick? Your amp, right? How loud your amp is, right? If your amp is so loud that it doesn't even matter, there's string buzz, or how much gain your amp is. If you're playing with lots of distortion, you don't hear any clean strings anyways, right? Tone of clean sound. So it doesn't really matter. There's a lot of rules or ways of people doing it. But key point is you have to play with your setup. Does it feel right? Does it, when you play your strings, does it feel right? Okay. Does it choke out the sustain, right? With having the string too low or the relief not enough gap, right? If it kills your sustain and you don't like it, you're gonna may have to create more gap, right? So it's a lot of trial and error, okay? Until you probably need to do these kind of setup at least 5-6 times before you find your favorite setup. Okay, so I'm gonna put my capo here, right? Press on here and get my little checker. It's not credit card checker, credit card checker. Just had it on reference. Okay, right? Remember, this is just a gauge, okay? Like a starting point. Okay, and another key point. When I put my finger down here, I'm looking at my neck here and find where it starts, where the deepest part of the bow is, okay? So you compare this point here, this point here, okay? And the reason why we're clamping this down on the first fret is so that we can see that bow. Okay, so I just found out it's kind of not right on the 12th fret, maybe on the 11th fret or so. That's where it starts bowing. The deepest part of the bow is. Maybe even 10th fret. That's pretty good, right there. Okay. I'll check my gauge. Okay, I need a little bit of friction go in. That means there's a little bit, the gap is it's tiny bit smaller than my plate here, which is how I like it set up because I don't pick really hard. But if I need to change the bow action, what you do is you have to unscrew this truss rod cover. This, and then access the opening. For me, it's an Allen wrench. You go in and turn the truss rod. Okay. There's lots of videos about how to adjust the truss rod. It's one of those things, it's trial and error. Do quarter turns at a time, one way, and if that doesn't work for you, do a quarter turn the other way. Okay. If you want a more detailed video about that, because just that part alone, I could do like 15-minute video. So if you want, let me know. I'll do a more in-depth discussion about that. Okay. Okay. So we're good there. Now, string height. Like I said, guys, right? There are general rules. And a good tool to measure your string height is this little thing here. Okay. And you can go online. It's called string action gauge. Usually what it has all the millimeters and all that nice fun things. And this part here kind of shows you where our string should be, the heights. Okay. So I kind of put it in. What you do is you kind of slide. Maybe this angle is better. You slide your string gauge. The 12th fret. It's kind of where we gauge everything from. So it's 2.25 millimeters. That's kind of how I like it. And then at the lower strings, I would say 1.5 millimeters. So these are pretty standard setup, okay? Again, very simple. Grab this piece. I put it against your fret board. Slide it until kind of touches the bottom of the string. Okay, it's 2.25 millimeters. Okay, same action here. 1.5. Exactly. That's exactly how I like it set up. Okay, so I use a hard pick, 1.5 pick, but I pick light. And when I pick, I have a little bit of flex, just a tiny bit of flex. So the action is right, perfect for me. The tension is great. Okay, now double check our tuning. Okay, so check my tuning. I love my action. And then quickly, if I want, what I can do is get some of these fader control cleaners and lubricants. Okay, detox. I can spray it into here. Okay, like right between the slots here. Okay. wiggle it around. There you go. That's to clean out the electronics. And now it's done. We change our strings, kind of check our action, our setup. It's what I like. And last thing, what do you want to do? String cleaner. So what we have here, it's a string cleaner. Sorry, I don't want to see my face. There you go. Okay, this, as it suggests, it cleans your string. Okay, kind of what you want to do is, don't have to go crazy, right? Okay, so now the strings are nice and clean. You can also get something called a fast fret. Okay, I'm gonna go and grab it. Fast fret. There you go. This is what we call fast frets. Kind of like a string cleaner. Also has lubrication on it, so I kind of like it. I kind of brush it on. Okay, just apply it, brush it on. Like I said, right, I do this whole process just on my lap. I could even change the strings on my lap if I want to. You don't need special tables, anything, right? So there you go. Strings are changed. Look, strings are changed. Okay, that's it with our video. Change my strings. I'm happy. It's in tune. And if you like this video, like and subscribe. And I'll make more videos for you guys. And if there are things that you guys want me to expand on, ideas, I can. So I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.